Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So this afternoon we'll be having our recorded asynchronous lesson or discussion on the principles of teaching. So we will be talking about our discussion for this afternoon. We talking about the multiple intelligences of Howard Gardner, and of course the different learning styles, and of course it is part of the discussion the attributes of personal attributes of being a teacher, you know. And if we still have time, we'll be talking about of how to become an effective teacher. So to start with, no, let's have now the multiple intelligences of Howard Gardner. And in the discussion that we had in the previous meetings in our physical classroom, we talk about the the cognitive faculty of the learners, and now we believe that our learners have individual differences. Considered to be, and as an individual, we have differences. We also have different type of intelligences. No, in the previous in the ancient time, the only way to identify that you are intelligent is only through the verbal, linguistic, and mathematical ability. So before, you are being identified as intelligent if you are good in math, if you are good in science, good in English. Those are just the manifestation that you are intelligent. But because of this theory of the multiple intelligences, it caters to different learning styles, different talents and skills of our learners. So on the screen, we have the multiple intelligences. It shows there the different talents and skills of the student. So as a teacher, it is our role, to unleash and develop the potential of each learners into the different field of their endeavor. So by this, we have type of intelligences. We have musical, bodily kinesthetic, spatial, intrapersonal, interpersonal, linguistic, logical, mathematical, and we have also the naturals. So to introduce first the proponent of this theory, because it's a learning theory. It was introduced to us by Howard Earl Gardner, or also known as Howard Gardner. Uh, he is an American developmental psychologist and John H. and Elizabeth Hobbs Professor of Cognition and Education at the Harvard Graduate School of Education at Harvard University. He's also a senior director of Harvard Project Zero since 1995. He has been the co-director of the Good Project, the author of 20 books translated into over 30 languages. He is best known for his theory of multiple intelligences. So let's start. No, what you might be able to identify yourself of what type of learner, what type of individual are you based on the theory of the multiple intelligences. To start with, we have the verbal linguistic. No, these are individuals who loves reading. Better for them to read in order for them to learn. Good in hearing, speaking, writing, debating, discussion, and etc. So this time you are sensitive to sounds, meanings, structures, and style of language. Your inclination to speaking, writing, listening, and reading. So you are fond of doing this kind of things. You are being identified as verbal linguistic. So the ability you possess is the ability to speak effectively. So those who are good in speaking, those who have a lot of speaking engagement, hosting or whatsoever, which you are prone to this kind of activity. You might be a teacher, a religious leader, politician, because these individuals are really into speaking. No? Or you might also be a writer, no? Like poet, journalist, novelist, copywriter, editor, into a relation of language development, verbal linguistic. Second, we have the logical mathematical intelligences. So patterns, numbers, and numerical data, causes and effects, objective and quantitative reasoning. So you're good in the mathematical data or logistic interpretation, no, finding patterns, making calculation, forming a testing hypothesis, using scientific method, deductive and inductive reasoning. So you work effectively with numbers. So you might become an accountant, statistician, economist, reason effectively, such as an engineer, scientist, computer programmer. So this one in the picture, this will be your profession in the future if you are intelligent in the matter of logic, and mathematics. So that's the second. The third one, we have the spatial intelligence. These people or individuals are inclined to colors, shapes, visual puzzles, symmetry, lines, images, no? Representing ideas visually, creating mental images, noticing visual details, drawing and sketching. So if you have that kind of skills, you are into an special intelligence. Create visually like an artist, photographer, engineer, decorator, and visualize accurately, such as tour guide, scout, ranger, and others related to visual activity, visual puzzles, symmetry lines. So such as drawing, making buildings. So these are engineers, decorator, such as designer, solving puzzles and mazes, looking at pictures, identifying the details of the pictures, and also imagining. So those are under spatial intelligence. The fourth one, we have bodily kinesthetic intelligence. So mostly these people or this individual are into movement, such as athletic movement. If you are into dancing, acting, making handicrafts, using tools, you are inclined to a bodily kinesthetic intelligence. So touch, movement, physical self, athleticism, activities acquiring strength, speed, flexibility, hand-eye coordination, and balance. Use hands to fix, create. So this might be some individuals who are into manipulative skills, no? Such as you will become in the future mechanic or a surgeon, a doctor, a carpenter, sculptor, mason. Use the body expressively. These are the very talented natin na mga dancers, athlete, actors who are in the showbiz industry. So they are bodily kinesthetic inclined people. So another one, we have the musical intelligence. So if you are fond of singing, if you love to sing, you analyze music. This one, good in listening, singing, and playing an instrument, you belong to musical intelligence. If you are also fond of creating music, such as you are a songwriter, composer, musician, conductor, you are inclined to musical intelligence. Okay, next we have the interpersonal intelligence. These are people who are fond of interacting with each other, fond of doing communicating, no? Such as body language, showing your body language, your moods, your voice, or feelings are being expressed, no? Noticing and responding to other people's feelings and personalities. So if you are fond of talking to other people, interacting, meditating with other people. So your work with people are such you become a future administrators, managers, consultants, so you will be a leader in the future if you have this kind of intelligence. You might become a teacher, and you may also help people identify and overcome problems, so guidance counselors. Other than that, you have therapists, psychologists. You are to become a conflict resolution, interviewing, selling. So if you are good in PR or public relation, that is, you are into this kind of intelligence. And this, of course, if there are these extrovert people, of being and having that interpersonal intelligence, the other way around is what we call the intrapersonal. One's own strengths, weakness, goals, and desires. So pursues their own interests. They like to reflect, set their own goals, and works alone. So most likely, this personality belongs to the introvert. No. monitoring one's own thinking, meditate, reflect, exhibit self-discipline, maintains composure, and get the most of oneself. So those who are feeling alone, that could be considered also a type of intelligence that's intrapersonal. And we have another one. We have the naturalist intelligence. Of course, those who love to explore the nature, like such as gardening, observing different creatures. If you love to plant, no, if you love to raise animals, or if you really like natural events. So natural objects such as plants, animals, naturally occurring patterns, ecological issues, identifying and classifying living things and natural objects, analyze ecological and natural situations and data. So those who loves environment, so you environmentalists, those who love animals, you belong to the naturalist intelligence. Next, we have another one, the existential intelligence, taking into a big picture. This one, no? Those who are questioning the existence of the human being, no? Taking into the big picture of existence. Why are we here? No? So sensitivity to deep questions about human existence, as the meaning of life, why do we die, and how do we get there, reflect on the meaning of human existence. Okay, so to recap, we have additional one, no, of the 7, 2, 4, 6, 8. So we have the existentialist. Okay, so those are under the the multiple intelligences. So we tend to believe that each individual has its own differences, and we possess different type of knowledge and skills and attitudes. By that, as a teacher, our role is to unleash, develop those potentials so that our child or our learners has. So in relation also to multiple intelligences, we have also learning styles. You might be asking yourself, no, what is the best way for you to learn? When is the best way for you to learn? Or what is the time, no, for you to learn? The best time for you to study your lesson? So we have differences. That's what we call learning styles. Do you learn more the time? Do you learn more when you are with your friends, your peers, or do you learn more when you are aloof or you are alone? So that's about learning style, the style of how our learners learn. So as teacher, that is also our task to identify our type of